trade would seem to be the one area where you would be at loggerheads with what the Trump administration seems to be saying. The idea of maybe having a pop at China on trade and the consequences of that. Is that the area you worry most about with Donald Trump?
You know, I read all these things pretty carefully. I don't know. I mean, I will tell you, I'll say this. If he's anti-trade, I'm at odds with it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, what his rhetoric and what his spokesmen are around him, and again, he's not a careful politician, and it's hard to get all the nuance in 140 characters.
Yes.
But what he seems to be saying also is consistent with, I want to renegotiate some of these trade deals. I want them to be more symmetric. I want them to be fair. And maybe even not fair, I want them to be more favorable to the U.S. interests, just as every politician will pursue his national interests. I don't find fault with that. That's not inconsistent with having free trade. So I'll take that point of view for now till I see it otherwise.
And you would make that case to the Chinese as well. You would say, look, this is a man you have to deal with.
I think so, and I think there's a core of legitimacy about all of this. Again, if you extrapolate to an extreme further than what he said, you can find all of a sudden it's been cast in a way where Xi Jinping is endorser of free trade and Donald Trump is against it. I don't think that's necessarily the case. At the end, look, even just think of the currencies. China is sovereign; it can adjust its currency, but it's adjusting its currency against the U.S. dollar.
Yes.
And so the U.S. dollar has a point of view about how the Chinese currency should trade against the U.S. dollar. It's symmetric, and I think that the pushback that's happening now is a normal give and take between two politicians and statesmen looking out for the national interests. I don't find anything inconsistent with that. That's how you get to free and fair trade.
But you know from dealing with the Chinese, there might be a limit to how much they can take on this. That if Donald Trump comes out with a very aggressive position on trade, that's something which Xi Jinping would have difficulty with.
Okay, what does that mean, how much they'll take? People want free trade, and
well,
they
took the stance on Taiwan. They sort of swallowed that one. Maybe they won't swallow things if it's core and on trade.
People have negotiating positions. I think the world will be poorer and divide a smaller pie if there's not free trade back and forth. Each country has an interpretation of what free actually means. And people find things disadvantageous, and people are pursuing their national interest, which is also a natural interest. And that's fair game. To me, I see all this as a negotiation towards an end goal of getting a better deal for their country.